Good evening. It's this Cooking with Church Girl coming your way by YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Today is Wednesday evening. I'm going to try to do a couple of things here for you. I recently launched my YouTube channel, and it's called Cooking with Church Girl Cummins. I hope you all enjoy this YouTube channel. I hope you will subscribe, like, and share my channel. And I hope you enjoy some of the recipes I plan to be sharing with you. And so with that, I'm going to get started. This evening, I'm going to show you how to cook salmon croquettes using fresh salmon. And I'm going to mix it with the regular salmon that come in the can. Usually, I just make salmon from the can, pink salmon croquettes, because I love salmon either way. But I tried it this way before and it was very, very good. So today I'm going to be using fresh salmon and it's going to be mixed with regular pink salmon. And so let's get started. And I'm going to be making brown rice, show you all how I make my brown rice. And I'm going to be making fettuccine and shrimp with fettuccine. So let's get started cooking with Church Girl Cummins today. First off, before I get started with the salmon, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I make my brown rice, because let me move this salmon out of the way. Had some people asking me about brown rice. Some of my friends told me that they don't really know how to make brown rice because they always be hard. Well, we eat a lot of my husband loves brown rice. I like brown rice. I also eat a little white rice, but he eat nothing but brown rice as much as possible, especially at home. So the way I prepare brown rice is I'm going to cook 1 cup, and always remember when you're measuring your dry ingredients, always measure it in a measuring cup. Never measure your dry ingredients. Never measure your dry ingredients in a measuring cup. This measuring cup is for liquids only. If you try to measure your dry ingredients in a liquid cup, measuring cup, it's going to come out, your measurement won't be right. You're going to be off. So this is for liquids only. And dry ingredients always go in these type measuring cups. This is 1 cup brown rice. So I'm going to take this rice. It's pretty simple. I'm going to put it in a pot. Now, some people like to cook with rice cookers. I'm from the old school, so I don't normally use rice cookers. I can, but I'm so used to cooking my rice in a regular pot. So I took 1 cup of brown rice, and I put it in the little pot I'm going to cook it in. And another thing, a lot of people don't wash their rice. Now, I'm a fanatic for washing rice. I think you should wash your rice. If your rice is white, you should wash it. Just run some cold water over it, run your hand around in it, and drain it. And if you have a strainer that's very, very, very fine hose, you can put the rice in there and just let the water run straight through it and just rinse your hand around it. Because if it's white rice, it's full of starch. White rice is full of starch. And if you wash it, you'll see how much white, thick foam will come off of it. That's nothing but starch. If you're washing your white rice, always wash that rice about 3 times till you get up to the water that's white. Normally around 3 times the water should be nice and bright and white. Clear. Till it's clear, not white, I'm sorry. And that just simply means you've rinsed off all that excess starch. You shouldn't want starch in your rice because starch is really not good for you anyway. It's nothing but fattening. So with that being said, I'm going to wash my brown rice. I'm going to run water on this. I'm going to rinse it around in my hand. I'm going to drain that water off. And I'm going to do that a couple of times, okay? You won't see me, but you'll hear me. All right, I'm going to go ahead and rinse my brown rice off. And that'll get all the excess. By this brown rice being brown, it have sometimes a little extra husk on it. So I'm going to rinse it off really, really well. Somebody's calling me. I don't know who that is. Anyway, I'm rinsing my brown rice off, you guys. You can't see me, but you can hear me talking to you. So I'm going to rinse it off. Catch some water. Catch some water in the pot with this brown rice, and I'm taking my hand. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm just taking my hand. I'm swirling around in all that water. If you can see in here, you'll see how much little husk from the brown rice float to the top. So I just drain that right off. I pour that right off. Don't worry, the rice is not going to come out. Just everything that's on the floating on the top is going to run right into the sink. Okay? Then I'm going to rinse it again. Make sure I get all the extra little, what I call grinds and little dust or whatever it is that's on brown rice out of it. Brown rice is not bleached, so it'll have sometimes little extra little thin skin on it, little hull. You want to get all that off of it. Let me show you again. I fill this up with water like so, and I just take my hand and I'm running it all around that brown rice. Now I'm going to pour this down in the sink. And the rice is not going to come out just what's floating on the top. It's going to just pour right down in the sink. And it's usually just, you know, it's a little bit brown because I want to get this rice clean. And I'm pouring off the excess water off of my brown rice. And 2 times should be good with 1 cup of rice. But sometimes I just do it 3 times just to make sure I got it extra nice and clean. So this is my last go round. And if, like I said, if you was washing white rice, you would do white rice the same way, unless you got a rice washer and then all the water just strain right through the bottom. But you don't want to put it in a big strainer because all your rice will go through it. So just like that, just like this, run my hand around in there real good and wash that rice. And then I'm just going to drain up, pour that water right off. Then it's ready for cooking. It's nice and clean, and I don't have to worry about no extra little husk on it or anything like that because it is brown rice and it's not bleached. Brown rice is much more healthier for you. It have all the nutrients in it. It's not bleached. They haven't bleached away all your nutrients. White rice is just bleached. They bleach everything out of it, and that's why it's white. So I just keep, we just use brown rice, and it's more healthy for you. Okay, see, that's my brown rice, nice and clean. Now I'm gonna cover it with water, just enough to cover the rice. I'm not gonna measure, well, maybe I'll measure my water so you know exactly how many cups that I use. Some people say 2 cups to 2 parts water to every cup of rice. I don't normally measure it, but since I'm doing it, I want to show you all. I'm just gonna measure it. So I cook 1 cup of rice, 2 parts water. But I always put enough water to just cover my rice. So I'm gonna probably put 3 cups and a half of water. It's 2 cups. And I'm gonna go ahead because brown rice take a little bit longer to cook than white rice. So you'll need a little bit more water. So with that 1 cup of rice, I may add like maybe 4 cups of water. I'm gonna add 3.5 cups of water because brown rice takes a little bit longer to cook. Brown rice take a little bit longer to cook than white rice. Okay? So I add 3 parts of water to 1 cup of rice. If it was white rice, it doesn't take that much water. 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water. If it was white rice. But because this is brown rice, as I said, it takes a little bit longer to cook. So I'm going to turn my heat on. Some people put their rice on in boiling water. I don't. I put my rice on, everything going cold. So I'll turn my water on, let that brown rice cook. When it catch a boil, then I'll turn it down to medium high. I'm going to let that rice, oops, did it go off? Oh, got the wrong eye on, you guys. I use a gas stove. So I'm going to let that rice cook like so. And when the water boils out of the rice, I take a top and I cover the rice. I don't stir it, I just cover the rice. When the water boils out of my rice, all I do at that time is, let me get my top ready. I always rinse everything out. Some people cover their rice while they're cooking it. Right away. I don't do that. I let my rice cook, and when the water cooks out of the rice, then that's when I cover it. If I cook my rice, I notice if I cook my rice and I cover it, I notice it'll be a little gummy, and I don't like gummy rice. But if I cook it this way and I cover it, when the water cooks out, I just cover it, and it's just fine. But not until it cooks. It'll be done, water cooks out, then I cover it. Okay, I'm just rinsing my top. Those of you that follow me, you know I rinse everything as I go. And I wash everything as I go. So got my top ready. And we have my little skillet. That's my pan ready there for my salmon. Okay, next thing I'm going to get started on while that rice is cooking is my salmon croquettes. Today, I'm going to be making salmon croquettes using fresh salmon. And I'm going to go ahead and mix it with a can of salmon because I had already opened it, this salmon. And I decided to go ahead and mix it together. You can make salmon by itself from the can. If you got fresh salmon, you can make it the same way. What I should have done, I should have made it separate. But I'm going to go ahead and mix them today, okay? With my canned salmon here, some people, let me just show you. I drain the juice from my salmon. I've noticed some people put their juice and all over in their bowl. I don't need all that excess juice, so I strain the juice. I'm going to drain the juice from my salmon. Like so, just like that. I just drain all that excess juice off. Because I don't like making my salmon patties. I don't want them to be too wet. They're not going to be wet anyway because I have to bind the other stuff together. After I strain that excess juice off, I take my salmon out of this can here. If I can get this top off. Well, let me just take it out like this. There's a top on there. Top, okay. Take my salmon out of the can. Move the can to the side. And I'm very careful with sharp items. You all that know me know I'm kind of afraid of anything that's sharp. Put that extra sharp top back in this can here. Okay. Now this is the part that I really want you all to watch because I'm going to do something that some cooks don't particularly like to do. Get me a spoon. And that's perfectly fine. Always make sure you have those hands impeccable clean. As you know I don't cook with a lot of jewelry on, especially rings. But that's perfectly fine if that's what you want to do. Okay, when I'm making salmon croquettes, guys, this is what I do. Some people leave all their skin and those bones that's inside their salmon. They crumble all that up inside the salmon. And that's fine. It's not going to hurt you. If you like the skin, that's fine. I just happen not to like the skin. So I take me a spoon, like so, and I just take off that excess skin, and I dump it right over in that can there, right over in my salmon can. I take off the excess skin because I don't like the skin, and I don't particularly like the bones. It's not going to hurt you. If you want to cook yours with the skin on, that's perfectly fine. But I just take my time, and I take off the excess skin as much as I possibly can. Just take a spoon, or either a fork, or you can use even the back of your little knife there, and you just rake that skin right off. It comes out real, real easy. If you want to use the back of a knife, that's fine. I just find it so much easier when I use a spoon, because that spoon can rake off all the excess skin without taking the excess meat off of it. Okay. Then I take the salmon here. After I get all the skin from the outside that I want off, I take that excess skin off. Then I take the salmon and I open that salmon up, because usually it'd be two big pieces, okay? Gonna lay one piece back inside the bowl while I work with this piece. Work with one piece at a time. What I'm doing, I'm just taking out the excess skin and bones before I mix up my ingredients, what I'm gonna make my patties out of. See all this skin there? See all that excess silver skin? I don't like that in my salmon. So I take my spoon, or you can take a fork, or a butter knife or something, whatever you have, lightly pull that skin off. See how easy that skin come off? Throw it away. Okay, lightly take that skin off. You don't want to pull off your excess salmon. And the skin is very easy to come off, like so. See? I got all that extra skin off. After that, I don't particularly like the bones. If you like the bones in your salmon, as I said, that's fine. Now, my dad, he used to love the bones. So he loved the bones in his salmon back in the day, growing up. I never liked the bones. I don't like crunching down on bones in my salmon. So what I do, let me show you what I did. This was one big piece, right? After I take the skin off the outside, I pull that salmon open like so, just like that. you're going to see a big piece of bone running right down the center of that salmon. Take that piece of salmon that the bone is out of, and if there's a little bit tiny pieces in there, they're very soft. They're not going to hurt you. But I usually take my hand and I usually kind of run it right down the center off my salmon, my fingers, and I pull all that little excess of little fine bones right out of it. I don't like the bones now. You can't even taste the little fine bones anyway once you make your patties, it's so fine. But this big piece right here, let me show you. See that big piece of bone right there running straight down the center of the salmon? I take it out. I take it right out. You can take it out with your hands, or I take a little knife and I take that whole piece out. It come out all in one piece. Just like that, like so, just like that. Take that extra bone out. If I happen to have a whole lot of little tiny pieces of bone, simply because I don't like bone, I would just take my finger and I rake it down one time and I just take that excess out. As I said, I won't even be able to taste those little tiny bones. But that big bone, I can taste it's crunchy, and I don't like that big crunch. I take the second piece of salmon. I do the same thing. I take that skin off the outside. Take your spoon or a butter knife or something and lightly go over that, pull that skin off of there if you don't want to cook with it on there. Okay, all that extra skin. Then I do the same thing with this piece. I take my hand, I open it up, and I make sure that there are no bones. See, that's a big bone right there. Big bone. I don't like the bones, so I take it out. Pull it apart. Take all that bone out. See? All that bone. Take it out. Put it to the side because I don't want to cook skin and bone in my salmon. When I cook salmon, I like all meat. I don't like crunching down on that skin and all that bone. Okay? But it's perfectly fine if you like the bone. It's perfectly fine if you like the skin. I just don't like all that little excess inside my salmon. I clean it out. Okay? Nice piece of salmon right there. Very nice piece of salmon. No bones, no extra skin on it. So after I do that, and that's the can. But today, since I'm using my pink salmon and my fresh salmon, because I have fresh salmon, had quite a bit of fresh salmon. The Lord blessed us with some extra salmon this year. So I'm using my salmon different ways. Salmon is very good for you, and Ken and I love salmon. Okay, wash my hands. Always keep those hands impeccable clean. Keep this nice hot dish water. Okay, got my hand all rinsed off and washed again because I want to deal with this other salmon over here. At this time, because I told you guys I'm going to cook salmon, instead of cooking 2 cans of salmon and I have extra salmon, I had extra salmon in the freezer, I decided to do some fresh salmon with this canned salmon, and I'm going to tell you how I prepared it. I'm just getting a little extra bones that I saw. I really don't like the bones. Okay. Set that can to the side. Okay, that's the pink salmon from the can, right? I'm going to mix it with fresh salmon right here. Now, before I mix this salmon in with this pink salmon, because we've been making salmon croquettes, and I want to have quite a few patties because Ken and I absolutely love salmon. This will make a plenty. I'm going to take this salmon before I mix it in here. I'm not putting this salmon in here raw. What I did, I washed this salmon off, and all I did was sprinkle a little garlic powder on top. I didn't put no salt. I didn't put no seasoning at all. No paprika, nothing. I just put a little garlic powder. And that's because we like garlic powder in this house. You don't have to do that. But make sure you wash your salmon if you're going to make croquettes out of it. Real good. Slip it in the oven. You don't have to put any seasoning on it. And let it cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. But watch it. I had mine on 350 or 300. But I watched it because you don't want it to get completely done. Because I'm going to fry this salmon, okay? I'm going to make patties out of it. So I wanted to cook it long enough to dry the water out of it and let it slightly cook, but not nearly all the way, okay? See up close, it's not finished cooking yet because I want to make patties out of it, okay? After I let it somewhat cook part of the way, I let it cool off. I took it out of the oven and I let it cool off. Now I'm going to take this salmon and mix it in with the can of salmon. It's going to be a very good mixture because fresh salmon is good by itself. I've done it. I've also made salmon croquettes with just straight salmon, fresh salmon. And I'll do that and show you guys. But since I already had this can of salmon open, I decided to go ahead and do it this way. Take your knife or a spoon or anything big or a spatula and just pull the salmon, pull your fresh salmon off of the skin. Just dump it right over in the bowl. You can make it by itself, or you can mix it with the can of salmon. I'm just mixing it with the can of salmon because I already had that salmon out, so I wanted to go ahead and cook it. You don't have to do that. You can just cook this salmon, fry it all by itself if you want to. But I'm taking this salmon and I'm mixing it in with my can of salmon, okay? As I said, I keep reiterating, you really don't have to do that. You can just make this salmon right here into patties. It's just as good. I just happen to be mixing it because I had the other can already out and I want to mix it together this time. Now the last time I cooked this salmon, I made salmon croquettes with just fresh salmon. It was very delicious and I really enjoyed it. I'm taking this salmon from the skin now. Don't want no skin over in there. I'm pulling all this salmon from the skin. See, remember I told you it's not cooked all the way. Cook just enough to work with. If you notice, salmon in the can is pre-something, pre-cooked or pre-smoked or pre-something. It's not raw. So that's what I want to do with this salmon. I put it in the oven. I just let it get done just enough to drop some of that water off of it in the oven. Now I'm gonna have a plenty of salmon croquettes. And Ken and I are going to enjoy these salmon croquettes. Pulling the salmon from the skin, putting it right over in the bowl with my other salmon. You can make salmon croquettes out of fresh salmon by itself, or you can mix it with the can of salmon. And I'm just doing that because I had the can of salmon open, so I decided to go ahead and put it together. And I've done it before, and it's really, really good. So pull all your salmon off. Like so, off of that skin. As you see, it's not all the way cooked and it's not raw, all the way raw. It's just right for me to work with because I'm going to fry it. Just like that, so I think that's enough. That's enough for salmon. I think I got enough of it off here now. But you don't want to leave no good salmon behind. Remember I told you all, get all that goodness out of there. Don't be leaving no excess goodness behind. Put it in the bowl and cook it. Okay, that's enough. Okay? And what you have left is just the skin. That's excess skin that'll be thrown away. That's going to be thrown away. Okay. I have my salmon here now in this bowl. It's going to make quite a few patties, you guys. I'm going to show you what I put with my salmon before I fry it. Now when you taking this salmon, if you're using fresh salmon, make sure you don't have no bones in it. They sometimes come with little tiny bones. Just make sure you don't have no bones in your bowl. If you do, if you see any little tiny bones from the fresh salmon, just pull it out, okay? Normally that's not very many, if any, that'll hurt you. But when you're cooking fresh salmon, sometimes they have little tiny thin bones running down the center. And I wasn't paying too much attention to pull them out, but if I see any, I just pull them right out because you don't want to eat, at least I don't like bones, so I don't want to eat any bones. They're not going to hurt you, little fine bones, not going to hurt you, but you don't want to eat any bones from the fresh salmon. If you see any little tiny bones, very, very tiny, just like that, like so, see, like that, just take it out. Just take it out. Today, we're having salmon croquettes, brown rice, and some mixed veggies for my husband. And I'm gonna do another video and make some. I might make some shrimp fettuccine, or I may do it at another time. Okay. I'm making sure, I'm just going through here a little bit, making sure I don't have any bones from the salmon, from the long piece of salmon. because I don't want to eat bone. If you're cooking fresh salmon, like I'm just doing, make sure you watch out for these little bones as you, I wasn't really watching out for them as you put them in the bowl, taking your meat off to put in the bowl. So I'm just making sure I got them all. Like I said, they're real soft, they're not going to hurt you, but I don't want to take a chance on eating no bone, especially from the big salmon. Okay. They are tiny, but they're a little bit more rubbery. See, they're a little bit more rubbery. You don't want to eat that. That's a bone. So I'm making sure I take all the bones out of your fresh salmon. I keep reiterating, you don't have to mix your salmon together. You can make salmon croquettes out of just fresh salmon or your canned salmon. Since Ken and I like to try to eat as fresh as possible, anytime I can possibly make fresh salmon croquettes patties, I will. Since I had that can up there, I decided to go ahead and use this can of salmon here and get it over with. And therefore, I'm just mixing them together. At least I feel like I'll be eating something fresh. Everything is not out the can. Fresh salmon croquettes are very, very good. You season it the same way you would season it if you would season them in the can, okay? I'm going to show you that in just a second. I just wanted to make extra sure that I didn't leave any bone from the fresh salmon. I definitely want to get those out because they're a little bit bigger and a little bit more stronger. So I don't want to be eating bone. Hope everybody had a good day today, this Wednesday. And I'm going to be making salmon croquettes here. And also, I'm going to tell you about the brown rice and veggies. I'm going to be doing another video because someone told me, I had a free request to do some fried corn again off the cob. Because when I went live, I couldn't upload it to my video yet, to my cooking channel yet, because I need to get 1,000 subscribers. Otherwise, I have to go back and upload it. And I'm just learning, you guys. I don't know all the trick or the trade yet to the YouTube channel, so I'm just learning. So just bear with me, okay? I'll be able to get more and more uploaded once I either get me another laptop or bring my computer that's in the office. Ken is not hollering down there anyway. Upstairs. Then I can upload it very, very fast before I get 1,000 subscribers. But the quicker I get to 1,000 subscribers, you guys go in there and subscribe now and like my channel and share it. The quicker I can get to 1,000 subscribers, the quicker I can upload a whole lot of more videos, you know, real fast. Because they'll automatically allow me to upload it without having to do it this way, the way I'm doing it now. I'll be able to go Facebook Live, or go live, not Facebook Live, but I'll be able to go live with you guys at the same time. Right now, it's either or. When I go Facebook Live, I wasn't able to upload it. So that's why I'm just straight videoing it this time. Anyway, my brown rice is cooking. I think I got all the bones out. That's a lot of salmon. I may not do it all on the video, but I'll do enough for you to see how I did it. Okay, I think I got all the bones out. That's a whole lot of salmon. I might need a larger bowl. And what I'm going to put in this salmon to make these patties, I have onion, and I like bell peppers in my salmon. So put in your salmon whatever you like. My glasses is kind of hurting behind my ear. Whatever you like in your salmon, that's what you put in. Now I'm going to use onion, red bell peppers. I have 2 eggs. Go ahead and crack my eggs here. Always crack your eggs. Remember, always crack your eggs in a separate bowl. Don't ever crack your eggs over in your mixture, just in case that egg is bad. If that egg is bad and you crack it in your mixture, you will ruin all of whatever it is you're trying to cook. You have to start all over. Just rinsing off my, I forgot to have my little thing ready here to beat my egg up with. So anyway, that's for my egg. 2 eggs, onion, bell pepper. And this is something else that I use that most of you all probably don't use in your salmon. Because I see a lot of people using flour and what you call that, breadcrumbs. And that's perfectly fine. Whatever you like to bring your salmon together with is perfectly fine. But for me, and I don't have it all grounded up yet because I want to show you. For me, this is what I do. First of all, let me go ahead and do this. Gonna add 2 eggs. Gonna add 2 eggs. To this, to my salmon there. Put that out the way. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add my. I'm gonna need something big to work with, and I may have to switch bowls if that bowl is too big. Okay, there goes my 2 eggs. Onion. I like quite a bit of onion in my salmon, so that's good. I may even put this little piece that I got laying over there. I may as well chop this little piece up in there. Where's my knife? Where's my knife? Oh, here. Have a extra little piece of onion laying over there. So I'll go ahead and, not gonna save that little piece of onion, so I just dump it in there. Can't go wrong with onions because we love onions, and I have lots of salmon over here to cook, so this little extra piece of onion ain't gonna hurt. Because I'm not gonna save that piece anyway. Little extra piece I had on the side that I didn't grind up. So I just put that little extra piece up in there. It's just a little piece of onion I had on the side that I should have grinded up, but I didn't, so just drop it off in there. It's not gonna hurt anything at all. Okay, my red onion is in. This is red bell peppers going in to my salmon meat. Okay. That go on the side because you all know I kind of like to wipe as I go. I'm gonna try not to wipe too much because my my friends tell me that's all I do is wipe. So I'm gonna try not to wipe too much. So therefore, there go the bell peppers, and I hope that's enough bell peppers because that's a lot of. That really is a lot of salmon. I probably should just use half of that salmon and finish baking the other half for Ken to eat later. Anyway, get this out of the way. Now this is what I bring my salmon together with. I also use a little gourmet pepper, whole peppercorn in my salmon, and I use garlic powder in my salmon. And I don't normally use salt because canned salmon is pretty salty already. But since I'm using fresh salmon mixed in with it, I might add just a little bit of my Tony's. I keep turning this over to make sure it's grinding up really well. This is another black pepper. It's white pepper, red pepper, and black pepper all mixed together. Okay, I think that's enough. I have a lot. This is a lot of big bowl of salmon. Y'all know I like my paprika, so I'm gonna put a little bit of paprika in there. I don't always use paprika in salmon, but since I love paprika so, I'm going to put a little bit in there. I'm going to put garlic powder. I'm not measuring this. Just put it to your taste. Whatever your taste bud is for your salmon. But I will tell you what I use. The seasoning that I use. Which is garlic powder, onions, red bell peppers. Because I like them, they have a little sweet overtone to them. My favorite is red. I use some, a little smoked paprika. It's going to give it a nice color and a nice, really nice flavor. I didn't really put no salt in this, but since I got that fresh salmon in there, I think I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of Tony's. I don't want too much because I don't want it too salty, and I really don't want it too hot. Okay, now, this is the next thing I put in my salmon. Ooh, that Tony's is strong, you guys. Make me want to sneeze. This is what I bring my salmon together with. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Gee whiz. That Tony's is really... This will really get you guys. If you're too close to it, your nose. Ooh, Lord, it go right straight up your nose. Okay. This is my secret ingredients for my salmon. Now, when I was raised, my mom used cornmeal and or flour, or she would mix the two together sometime to help bring that salmon together into the patty. Well, over time, through trial and error, especially when Ken and I start watching what we eat and trying to eat healthy, I decided to try lost my train of thought there. I decided to try this, and it works real good. I'm going to show you. I can't think where it is. I break my salmon together with Quaker Oats. It works really, really good. And you know Quaker Oats, oatmeal is very good for you. All it does, it works as an agent to hold that salmon patty together. Therefore, I don't have to use flour, that white flour, which is not that healthy for you anyway. And I don't have to use gritty cornmeal. Now, some people use flour, that's perfectly fine. Another reason I don't care for the flour is because I don't want my salmon to be like a biscuit. I don't want it to be, I'm not going to say gummy, but I don't want it to be floury. You know, like biscuit taste, kind of floury. So therefore, I don't like to use the flour. And I really don't like to use the cornmeal, but if that's all I have, if I have to use the cornmeal, I try to use a fine white, not yellow, cornmeal. And I will mix that with just a touch of flour, a little bit of flour. If at all possible, I've been using Quaker Oats for years, and it comes out really great. Plus, it's healthy. I take those Quaker Oats, I put them in my little chopper here. I'm gonna grind them up real, real fine. You wouldn't even know it was Quaker Oats if I didn't tell you. You wouldn't even know it was in there because you really can't taste it. Give it a really good taste, and it's gonna hold that patty together really well. I put my Quaker Oats in my little chopper here. Okay, and I chop it up real, real fine because I really want it to look like cornmeal or like some people use, what did I call that? You call that flakes? Those dry corn flakes, breadcrumbs is what I'm trying to say. Breadcrumbs. This looks just like breadcrumbs, but it's nothing but Quaker Oats, and that's very healthy for you. It's going to act as an agent to hold my salmon together, that patty together, and it's not going to be floury. It's not going to be gritty like very coarse cornmeal could sometimes be. If you happen to use cornmeal, I suggest that you put it in a grinder and grind it up, make it fine as possible, so your salmon won't be kind of gritty like. I had it. It's okay. That's what you like. That crusty taste, flavor, look to it. This is grinded up real fine. See. And this is going to be my agent that hold it together. I have my 2 eggs in there. I have my seasoning in there. Have my onion in there. And now I'm just mixing it all together so I can get ready to make patties. I strained the excess water, juice, remember? I strained that excess juice out of it. Now, some people use all that juice, and then they use a whole lot of flour, and they make that salmon real floury, that patty. So strain that excess juice off of it. You don't need that much water on your salmon because you have eggs, and plus you're going to have a little bit of juice in it because the salmon is wet anyway. And then I just bring it together, just like so. Mix it all together. And I'm going to have to use the rest of my, I'm going to use all of my, my Quaker Oats there because I have it's a lot of salmon in this bowl. Gonna make a whole lot of croquettes. Sometimes we eat salmon croquettes for breakfast. Sometimes we eat it for lunch. And sometimes we have it for dinner, like tonight. Okay? And sometimes I just get hungry and I just go in the fridge and grab me a salmon croquette. And stick it in the microwave 10 seconds or 8 seconds. Woo, yummy, yummy, yummy. With a little hot sauce on that bad boy. And it's really good, so. You can eat salmon croquettes anytime. Putting the rest of my oats in there, my grinded up oats. Using that in the place of flour and in the place of cornmeal. This little piece of red bell pepper didn't chop up all the way, so I don't want big pieces of I don't want really big pieces of bell pepper, so I just chop that up. I guess the chopper didn't catch that little piece. Okay, then finish grinding, finish bringing your salmon croquette together like so, just like this. And remember, I mixed mine with fresh salmon. You can make fresh salmon by itself, or you can mix it in with the can. I went on and mixed it in with the can because I wanted to use that can up. Okay, mixing it all together really good. Okay. And now I'm gonna begin. I'm hoping to have enough onion in it because I really love onion, especially with fresh salmon. I like the taste. I really like to taste that extra onion. Some of this onion didn't chop up too good, seems like, in my chopper. So if I see the big pieces of onion in there, I just grab it. I just grab it and chop it up a little bit. That's all. I just don't want big hunks of. I'm watching my rice. Turn it down low. Remember I told you when the water cook out of my brown rice? I'm gonna cover it. Sometime I'll go ahead and test it and taste it. If it tastes a little bit hard, I'll go ahead and add a little tiny bit of water and let it finish cooking, and then I'll cover it. Turn it off and cover it, and it'll continue to get tender if it needs to soften up. But I don't cook it with the top on it because I don't want no gummy rice. Okay, what I'm doing now, this is some little onion that I should have had chopped up, but I didn't chop it up in the chopper. I saw it laying over there on my container, so just putting it in there because I don't want to have to put this back in the refrigerator. I don't like to put onion in the refrigerator unless it's one big piece. Okay, that's it. I don't have to save that. I don't like to save onion unless it's one big piece. Okay. I'm going to go ahead now. I'm going to start making my patties, and I hope I have enough of, I don't taste this. Sometimes I taste it to make sure that it's, because I got that raw egg in there, I don't really want to taste it. Sometimes I go ahead and taste it, but I don't want to taste that raw egg. So I've been cooking it, making it long enough now to, I just about know when I have enough of seasoning in it. Add a little bit more black pepper. If you haven't tried whole black pepper, try it. It's very good. It really makes your food taste so good. Now I have the regular pepper in my pantry, but I just love my gourmet pepper. The white, red, and black. Peppercorn, whole pepper. Okay, that should be enough. I want to add some more pepper because I have so much salmon in here. And I want to make sure every bit get good pepper on it because I like that pepper, fresh pepper taste. Okay, seems like my rice is all cooked down now. So I'm going to take my spoon before I turn it off. This is my brown rice, 1 cup. Take my spoon. Now taste it, make sure it's soft enough for me. If it's not soft enough, now let it continue to cook. Nice and soft. Just like I said, let that water cook off of it, and all you gotta do is cover it. You get perfect brown rice every time. That's gonna be perfect brown rice. All I had to do was turn it off. Okay, now my salmon is all ready to be made patties out of. Let me just set this to the side. I may have to call my hubby in here to help me out a little bit because I don't want to have dirty dishes all over the place. Okay, set that to the side. Set that out of the way. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making up my patties, and I'm going to be frying my salmon in this container here. I have several sizes of cast iron skillets, but this is kind of like my go-to skillet for a lot of things. I have all kinds of skillets. I'm not short on utensils. You may see me using the same skillet a lot. But it's not because I don't have no more, because I have plenty. Okay? All I'm doing is rinsing my hands so I can get ready to make patties. I should have put that salmon on a piece of foil before I put it in the oven, and I didn't. Now I got to work with my cookie sheet to get that all clean later. I should have put it on foil and I forgot, but that's okay. Okay, what I'm going to do now is pull out another little cookie sheet here. You all know how I am about rinsing off things as I go. It's nice and clean, but I have a habit. I just like to rinse whatever utensil I'm using. I like to go ahead and rinse them again. And sometimes I don't use them for a while, you know. Dust get everywhere, so even though they're nice and clean, I still go ahead and rinse them. Remember I told you some of I need me another blender, I guess, because that blender is not chopping my onions things up fine as I want them to be. Some of them kind of big pieces. So maybe I need to replace this, you guys. Because I'm seeing quite a few big pieces of, bigger than I like over in my salmon. If I see the big pieces of bell peppers, I just grab a knife and cut it up. It's not a big deal. Not going to hurt anything. I just don't want no really big hunks. That's all. Of bell peppers. Or onion. Okay. Here we go. Time to get the frying up here. I'm not going to deep fry them. At first I was going to deep fry them like a meatball, but we'll do that another time. I'm going to use some oil. And the oil I'm using today, I was going to use this oil. This is good oil that I already used one time, but I only made like French fries or something in it for my niece or something like that. Or even for myself. And I saved that oil because it's perfectly good oil. As long as it's not chicken grease, fish grease or anything, you can reuse it. See how clear that is? I strain it and I save it. No sense in throwing away good oil. Okay? I had extra, so then I'm going to use it out of here. This is the same oil that's in there. So I'm just going to, instead of open up a new thing of oil, put a little, small amount of oil. Don't take a whole lot of oil to fry salmon. At least I don't like a whole lot, unless I'm deep frying them. Okay? I think that's enough oil. Like so. You can't see it. Let me get closer here. I want you guys to see exactly what I'm doing. Anyway, it doesn't take a whole lot of oil. I can't really move the camera, so I don't have it on a tripod, so I can't be as flexible as I want. Anyway, it doesn't take very much oil. You don't have to cover your salmon all the way up to the top like you deep frying chicken or something. And salmon doesn't take but a few minutes to cook on each side. So always have your container ready, your cookie sheet or whatever you're going to use when they're ready to place them on. Okay, it's oil. Oh, did I turn the eye on? Okay, got the eye on. Put this in the oven. And I'll put a rack on top of it later, or either some paper towel to catch the excess oil once those patties fry. Okay, I'm gonna take this. That rice is done already, so I'm just change eyes. Hope you guys can see what I'm doing. If not, I can go ahead and take the rice completely out the way. Whoops! Out the way, so you can see what I'm doing. I want you all to see exactly what I'm doing. Put this away. Put my little extra oats away. Now the rice is in a good spot. It's out of the way. Okay. Turn that down some because I should have had the patties ready to go in. Now I'm going to start making patties and drop them over in this oil. Because that oil is ready to go. And I don't even have my first patty ready yet. Okay. All I'm going to do Take a hand of I should move the camera up a little closer. Take some salmon. I think I'm gonna move my camera up a little closer in a minute. Take some salmon, make a patty, and put it in the hot oil. Hot grease. You make them as large as you want, or as small as you want. I don't like my salmon made that grease is not hot enough. Not quite hot enough, you guys. I'm gonna move it to the back eye. Turn it up for about a minute or two, and then let it get hot enough, and then I'll drop the salmon patties off in there. You don't want to start frying your salmon patties unless the oil is nice and hot. Let me go ahead and take out my covering. My little covering here. I told y'all before I got to replace this. I haven't replaced it yet, so just gonna use the one that I have because it's still usable. As soon as that oil get hot, I can drop the other salmon croquettes in there. Meantime, get this ready. This is just my little thing that I use to cover my salmon, so that the grease won't, so that the oil won't. I'll move this up a little closer. I think that's better. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. I think that's better. Yeah, that's better. It's up closer. Okay, make some more patties. Just take you some salmon mixture in your hand. Don't be afraid to use your hand. Since I have a lot of salmon, I can make my patties nice and a nice size. I still don't want them too big. I don't like them too big. But I have lots of salmon, so I can make a nice size. I just don't like them really big, too fat. Like so, just like that. Make a patty, just as though you was making a hamburger patty. And then drop it off in that hot grease. Just like that. I'm always switching stuff around. I'm going to take my rice, put it in the oven because I don't want grease. I don't want that grease to pop all over my rice. So I'm going to just put it out the way. Put it in a nice warm oven out the way. So I hope everybody saw how I did the rice. So next time you want to make brown rice, you know how to make it. It's very easy to make. Make another patty. Don't be afraid to use your hands. Just make sure those hands are impeccably clean. Make that patty like so. See how nice that patty is? And then put it over in the oil. Hot oil. I'm patting it out because I don't want it to be so fat. These are going to make some really nice salmon croquettes. Ken and I can eat off of these for a couple days. At least 2 days. They'll be gone. Sometimes you're walking through the house eating a salmon patty. Okay, I think I can get maybe 5 in there. You don't want to overcrowd the skillet. Anytime you're frying any meats, don't overcrowd the skillet. If you overcrowd the skillet, you won't have enough time to, wow, I got to hurry up with this video. Then I'll start another one. You won't have enough time, enough space to turn your meat over. Whatever it is you need to turn over. If you overcrowd the skillet and everything is touching up against each other, you won't have enough room to work with when you're turning over your patty or your chicken or whatever it is you're cooking. I think I put one more little tiny one in there because I like small patties. I like them small. So I make one little tiny one and put over in the corner. Then that way I have 6 in this skillet. This skillet is kind of big so it can hold quite a few patties. That's a nice a nice small salmon patty right there. Drop it over in your oil, hot oil. And you'll know when they're ready to turn because you can see them starting to brown halfway. When it brown halfway, go ahead and turn. I use this little thing to cover it to make sure the oil doesn't splatter. I'm going to get me a new one real soon. I need another one. But until I think about it, I'll use that one. Okay, wash my hands again. Get ready to turn those. And then I'll show you that, and then I'll end this video. Then I'm going to do another video tonight. Because I had some requests to refry the corn, so I'm going to do the fried corn. Again, for those that didn't see it, put my patties in there. Always have you something ready. Put your meats on when you're cooking. Don't wait till the last minute. You know, kind of have it ahead of time. All ready to go. I just got my cookie rack out, and I'm gonna line it with some paper towel. I don't necessarily need this cookie rack. I don't necessarily need this. I don't think I'm gonna use this. I'm just gonna use my straight platter there. Put some paper towel down. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think that'll be good enough. Okay? But I have such a habit of doing things, maybe I'll still do it the way I like to do it. I'll go ahead and use this rack. Because it's a habit that I have. I'm going to go ahead and use the rack. I'm going to go ahead and use the rack, you guys. Ooh, I better turn those patties. They're well ready to be turned. Let me hurry up here. Don't want them to burn, you guys, so let me hurry up here. I usually use 2 utensils because those that follow me, you know I'm afraid of hot grease. So, I'm going to turn the patty like so. Nice and golden brown. Once they get brown on one side, turn them over. They'll cook on the other side. I probably should be using this spatter here because I don't want this being hot grease too much. So I'm going to switch it over. Once they cook on that side, I can take them out and I'll start another batch. And I think I'm going to do the other batch without the camera on because I don't want it to be too long. It's already been an hour. Okay. So let me go ahead and show you my brown rice while that's browning. I'm going to go ahead and get it ready to put in a skillet, in a bowl in a minute. So add this cook. Just wait for this to cook. It only take a few minutes. Normally I would go ahead and make up some extra patties and have them ready to go. While that's cooking, I like to have a couple already made, so all I have to do is just lay it right over in the grease. Have them all ready to go. Let me get a little paper plate here to put them on, or a foil pan or something. So I have them all ready to go. I'm going to take them out in about another 2 minutes. They ought to be nice and ready. Wow. You ought to make about a good 10 or 12. Because I'm going to make these a little bit smaller. Ooh, they're going to be some good salmon. So remember how I put it together. I used 2 eggs, because I had quite a bit of salmon. Chopped onions, chopped bell peppers. I use a little garlic powder because we like garlic powder, especially on salmon. I put a little Tony's in there to help flavor it because I had fresh salmon along with the canned salmon. I'm just getting some patties ready so they'll be ready to drop. As soon as I take those out, these will be ready to go. In probably one more minute, I'm going to take them out. You don't really want to cook them too fast. Once the grease get really hot, you can kind of turn it down a little bit. You yet want them to fry. You don't want your oil to get cool. You want to keep that temperature, you know, nice and hot. But you don't want to have it, you know, where to burn your salmon. Okay, I got these ready to go. Like so. When those come out, then I'll drop some more. Just like that. Okay? Rinse my hands real fast so I can take those out. Okay, now those are ready to come out. I know they're nice and brown and all ready to come out. So let's go. Let me get these out. Let me just check them to make sure both sides is nice and brown. Make sure to keep that heat nice and hot. Oh yes, they're ready to come out, you guys. They nice and cooked on both sides. Nice and brown on both sides. I can go ahead and take them out now. Ooh, this is going to be some good salmon. Go ahead and put them on my rack there so all the grease can drain to the bottom. And I have some paper towel in the bottom of my rack to catch the excess grease. Just making sure I have them nice and golden brown. Each side nice and golden brown the way I want it. Oh, these are going to be some very good salmon. Very good salmon. I'm very pleased as to how they're coming out. As to how they're turning out. I'm very, very pleased. Remember, fresh salmon is just as good as the salmon in the can. Plus, it's not real salty. That's one reason I want to add some fresh salmon with that canned salmon. So cut down on some of that salt. I just want to make sure every side is as brown as I want it. Then I'll go ahead and drop another batch. Okay. Now once I use this oil, anytime I cook any type of fish in oil, I don't save that oil. I only save French fries oil or chicken or something like that. But I don't save fish oil. I throw that out. Okay. That's my first batch, and they look so good. Ooh, they smell good too. So I'm going to put in another batch of salmon because I cooked a big batch. I know it's just two of us, but salmon never go to waste around here. We love salmon. We can make a salmon burger too, if we want to. I think I have enough for one. I'm going to try to make 3 more small ones. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'll make 3 more little bitty ones. Well, they're not going to be too little. I just kind of like them kind of small. I don't know if I get them all in the skillet or not. But I'm going to show you the ones that I made. so far. Next time I'll fry these patties, I'll do them live. Okay, these are going to be some very good salmon patties, you guys. I hope you all try this recipe. If you're using the canned salmon only, that's fine. You can still use the same ingredients that I use. And if you haven't tried to make salmon patties with fresh salmon, try with fresh salmon. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. I have one more little tiny one. I think I can get them all in this skillet. See, this is just a little tiny one. So I think I can get them all in this skillet. Put it over here in the corner. Okay, let them cook. Rinse my hand again. Okay, with that, I'm going to get off. Say good night and get off. I'm not going to continue to wait until they finish because it's taking too long. This is what the finished products look like with the salmon that I've cooked already. I have another batch cooking right now. And I hope you all try this recipe. Doesn't that look good? Ooh, they smell so good. I can't wait to try them. So anyway, with that, I'm going to say good night. And hit that subscribe and like button. I just wanted to show you my product, my brown rice. I want you to see what my brown rice look like. Since some of you told me that you didn't know how to cook brown rice. That's my brown rice. Finished rice. Put a little butter on it, if you like butter on your rice. A little salt on your rice. And it's ready to go. It's just as good as white rice. And it's very, very healthy for you. Brown rice is much more healthy for you because it's whole grain. Okay? It's wheat. And you know wheat, whole grain is much better than white rice. So I want to encourage you to eat as healthy as possible. Rinse your rice. Cover it with water, just enough water to cover it. Cook your brown rice with the top off. After it comes to a boil, turn it down to medium heat and just watch it. When the water boils out of your brown rice, take your top and cover it. Turn it off. That's all you need to do. You don't have to stir it or anything. I'm going to show you what it looks like. When it's all finished, that's what your brown rice look like, okay? It's nice and fluffy. It's not all stuck together. And it's not all sticky, okay? I'm just putting it in the oven out of the way. All right, YouTube, thank you all for watching me tonight. God bless. Hit that subscribe, like, and share button. I really appreciate it. And I'm hoping to have up a whole lot more delicious recipes in the very near future. Have a good evening. Bye.